Hey everybody, Life's Journey at 50 here. So hope everybody's doing well out there. Hey, appreciate you stopping by. If you can, hit that like, notification, and subscribe button would be absolutely fantastic. Over 2,000 now subs, so really appreciate everybody watching out there. So, adventure boots. I did a video about a year or so ago, about a year ago, and good, bad, or ugly, whichever way you thought of it, I went through the boots that I've gone through and kind of just give my opinions on it, give a little bit of breakdown, everything like that. And then since that time, I've had a situation where I broke my leg up in South Dakota, the Black Hills up there. And the riding that I'm doing, especially if you're doing, and this video is more about if you're really doing adventure riding and then almost, you know, to the point where you're doing a lot more off-road than you are on-road, then maybe this video will be good for you. Because again, it's my opinions. I'm not sponsored by anybody of these boots. These are all stuff that I've purchased, so I've laid out my hard-earned cash for it. But what I've thought is that this gives you an idea of kind of my thoughts, kind of what I ride, kind of, you know, just given in my perspective. So I really kind of start off from maybe the cheapest to the most expensive. There's waterproof, non-waterproof in here, and kind of just give a little bit of a breakdown. And you can see I've used a lot of these, some I haven't, and I'll get into all that. So let's down here, let's talk about this Forma boot. Now I talked about this one before. This is the Forma Terra Evo. I'll leave descriptions and a link below. I'll also, you know, give a little bit more details as you see the stuff that goes across the bottom. What I like about this boot, it's waterproof. It's one of their top-end adventure boots. It has 3 buckles, so I like that. I like the fact that it's got 3 buckles on it. Give a little bit more stability, especially up top. And then you see it's waterproof, but it only comes waterproof up to about right here. So, again, I wish, and you'll see most of these boots, I wish if they were waterproof, they actually went to the very top to be truly waterproof. Now, what's nice about the Forma, I think they're 3.25, 339, somewhere in that, maybe somewhere in that neighborhood, and a very solid adventure boot. Now, you do have a little bit of protection back here. It's got a hard plastic plate here, but it's not real protective in the ankle or even up top. So, but if you want a boot that you just immediately put on and it is comfortable and everything, and you're not getting into some serious off-road stuff, this is a very solid boot, waterproof. It's been absolutely just a workhorse. You see it's been used quite a bit, so have no problems in this. Even has a shin protector, pretty hard right here. You can hear that. So, but yeah, so again, it's got heavy plastic, everything around here, but it does not have great protection in the ankle and around the leg. So that's that one. So now, as you start moving up the ranks, now this is an Alpinestars Tech 7. Now these can be on sale right now. I think, I picked these up for maybe $300, somewhere in that neighborhood, 3.25, which is pretty good for an Alpinestars Tech Tech 7s. Now these are not waterproof, so if you get into some serious rain, water, you know, walking in water and stuff, you're going to get your feet are going to get wet on these. But this has 4 buckles, and I mean, this is more of a motocross boot. This is really, toe box is hard, like you don't have that. You got a hard toe box here, but the rest of it is kind of, you know, a little bit. This is stiff. This is very protective of the ankle. Upper here, you don't have a lot of flexibility in here. It's very solid with the 4 buckles. Comfortable boot. When you first put it on, you need to walk around a little bit in it. And it's not like the Forma where it's comfortable, you know, immediately like you've been wearing that boot. But I like the 4 buckles. It's just really a lot of great protection. So when it's dry, maybe some light rain, which is not really going to dampen your feet. But if it's dry and stuff like that, this is a boot that definitely I would recommend, because it's going to give you a hell of a lot more protection than the Forma. So that's this one. And again, you can catch this on sale right now. I'll try to find a couple of links, but I'll give the average price. But this is a Tech 7 from Alpinestars. So staying with the Alpinestars, which there's a little bit of a common theme here. This is their Toucan. Now, this is a waterproof boot. I think this one's $449, somewhere in that neighborhood. Again, it only comes up to about here, just below about the calf, but they're solid. The one thing that I wish that they did on this boot is I wish we had the 3 buckles. It only has 2, and then it has the Velcro up here, which sometimes, depending on if you've got, if you're a big guy like me and you got, fat calves, basically, you get stretched out here, and sometimes they'll, have a tendency to undo just a tad, not a lot. Lot more protection than the Forma, not as rigid as the Tech 7, so you do have a little bit of flexibility, but it's solid. Like, again, shin, back, around the ankle, it's a very solid boot. Again, adventure riding, if you're going to make the investment and you want to spend a little bit more money and get up into the $450, almost $500 range, the Toucan's a great buy because it is waterproof and it does give you pretty solid protection. The only thing I wish they would have had a 3rd buckle to this up top on the Toucan, and maybe just a little stiffer in the sides up here. This is the boot that I actually broke my leg in and my ankle, so if that has anything to do with it, and I think part of that is it didn't have the extra buckle up here, and maybe it was a little flexibility. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, that happens. So sticking with the Tech Stars, now I got this at the end of the season. These were on sale. Normally they're $5, I think $5.25. I think I got it for $450, somewhere $4.25, maybe $100 off. But these are the Tech 7s, but these are the Drystars. Now these are waterproof, so you get everything you can with the Tech 7s here on protection. All this, 4 buckles, but it's waterproof. And what's kind of nice is it does almost go to the very top. See how compared to the Toucans there, this goes all the way to the top here. So, or not all the way to the top, but pretty close, about 1.5 inches or so below. But yeah. Solid boot. I've worn these once, but yeah, I mean, again, all around just a great boot. Now, you get into some high-end stuff. These are SIDIs. Now, SIDIs are an adventure boot. You're not going to get a lot of protection in the ankle. They're not going to get a lot of protection in the ankle. What I like about these is they are waterproof, and they go all the way basically to the top. So, if you're looking for a boot to tour with, if you're going to do some just gravel road, if you're going to do, just some light off-road stuff, solid boot, very comfortable, do give a little bit of protection back in here, but you're not going to get a lot in the ankle. They do have some ridges here that if you do go down or whatever, it'll protect a little bit on the ankle, but they're not stiff. I mean, they're the toe box is, but they're just not stiff, especially up top. Not like, you're not doing like you are on a Tech 7 where it's very stiff and rigid up here. So very comfortable boot. I think these are about $500 or more. But these are the SIDI 2s, adventure boots. And again, if you're doing some serious off-road, some stuff, probably want to shy away from these to a certain degree, just because if you want some lower leg protection for the ankle and for your shin and fibula, tibula type of stuff. So again, it gives you an idea. Now, these might be the most expensive ones, and these are the Forma 2.0s. These are the Predators. These guys, absolutely bomb-proof. And I say that a little bit in tongue-in-cheek, but 4 buckles. They are not waterproof, but they are, but they do a good job keeping the water out. They also don't go all the way to the top. narrow. So if you have a wide foot, this is the trouble I've had with this. This is for a little bit more of a narrow foot. It's a bummer because I've only had these on for about 4 hours and I had to take them off because they're just too tight. And but they're about $550. But Forma Predator 2.0s, and they are just a fantastic boot. Again, armor up here, you've got the 4 buckles, stiff back here. It is built for off-road, motocross, heavy and enduro stuff. A fantastic boot. Can't complain about that. So again, if I, waterproof wise, protection wise, everything, probably I would go with the Drystars, just because you're going to get all the protection. You're going to get the waterproof. It's going to go a little higher. It's a great boot, great investment, and it's just going to be a little bit more than the Toucans. Toucans are a solid boot if you want to stay in that I think it's $400 range, $450 range. Solid boot. Does have protection. It's got, pretty solid. I would give it a medium, on the for protection. Then if you're just doing motocross, or you're not, off-road and you're in dry weather or whatever, this Tech 7's a great buy. There's a lot of sales going on those right now, and you can get those relatively inexpensive for around $300. And then if you're not doing a lot of heavy off-road, more dirt, gravel road, and just kind of touring, the Forma or the SIDI, both are waterproof. This one's probably a little bit more better on the waterproof, just because it goes higher all the way to the top of the boot versus the Forma, which obviously comes down to here. So again, just an update. Riding season's coming. If you kind of want to know some boots that I've obviously invested in, and trying to share my feedback to you guys. But the Alpinestars have a little bit better array of boots for you. Forma are very comfortable, but if you're doing, like I said, if you're doing anything medium to heavy off-road, getting out really and doing it, and not that you can't, don't get me wrong, it's not that you can't go do that stuff. It's, again, there's a price point. Everybody has, a budget. Everybody has, what they're looking for, and you have to be comfortable with that boot that you're in. But I'm trying to give you an idea that you're not going to get a lot of protection around the ankle in the CDs, or upstairs, versus what you're going to get, especially in the Forma Predator 2.0s, and then the Alpinestars ones here. So again, thought I would share this. Excellent boots. And riding season's coming, so stay safe out there. Hopefully this helped a little bit, and again, my perspective on using these boots and riding with them. So like, subscribe, hit that notification button. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you got some value out of this, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.